Let me figure out what's going on. Tess. What is happening? That's why. That's why. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome in. We is in 2025. This is the first Our Sisters Keeper for 2025. We're back from the very quick hiatus for Tyler Perry Sisters. This is the after show with your good sis you let us talk TV with. And
You girl, I ain't been giving it to you when I give it to you, but always in the nick of time. Happy New Year to everybody.
The nick of time. Happy New Year, Ellie.
Happy New Year to you too.
It's already been a very interesting start for me. But I am very, very excited to be back. Y'all are noticing is a little bit difference with the visuals. We have upgraded just a tad. I am attempting and going to succeed, I believe, with elevating in 2025.
Absolutely.
So hopefully you all enjoy the new and improved versions of things as they roll out, as you get to see them. Part of that is not just the visual, but also how we're going to go about handling each and every one of these Our Sisters Keeper episodes. So we still gonna rate, so drop y'all's ratings in the chat. We're definitely still gonna shout y'all out at the beginning, but we're also going to try to focus on themes as we go throughout the rest of the season, because we have elevated conversations here, right? And whether or not the episode is gonna give what needs to be gave, we gonna come here and give what needs to be gave, and we're gonna have conversations about interpersonal relationships, about friendships, about romance, about career, about self-love, about work, all of those things. So if those things are even touched upon in the episode, if they even mention in the episode, then we'll be able to bring them here and unpack them even further, regardless of what Tyler and them damn writers are doing. Okay? Hopefully y'all are with me on that. Y'all love that idea. I literally put together a little structure, sit over Allie. I was like, I love it. We're gonna roll with it. So roll with us on that. Tonight, we're going to be focusing on 4 major things. Power plays. We're going to talk about Andy and the Robin drama. We're going to talk about the sister circle, because there's a lot of friendship elements in this episode tonight. Interesting. We got some things to sink our teeth into. We're going to talk about this mental health check. We all need to be having mental health checks. And Danny, it seems like the buck has stopped where she's at. And then labor and love. Labor and love is going to be our final segment. So hang in there throughout the whole entire episode. I feel like that's probably going to be the best segment tonight. But Allie, how are you feeling about this episode? First episode of the year. What you thinking?
It definitely didn't disappoint. It gave me exactly what I thought it would give. Um, yeah, I would say overall it did not disappoint me. However, it did not exceed any expectations or lack thereof that I had. But excited somewhat to see us complete this season. Um, but that's how I felt overall. We'll get into the meat and potatoes of why I felt that way when we get into it. But overall, that's how I felt. It did exactly what I thought it would do.
I am actually pleasantly surprised, but not because of any like profoundness, right? Like I agree with you that it didn't necessarily exceed expectations, but I do fear that I came into it expecting the absolute worst and they gave us a decent episode. So I am pleasantly surprised. Like,
Yeah.
okay, all right. You came in, you said, okay, that was last year. Sisters came in and said, "New year, new me." We hear you, and we started out with Maggie. I'm like, okay, not Maggie trying to figure it out, not Maggie trying to redeem herself.
She's trying. She's trying. Because Maggie tried it somewhat in the first half of this season. But you know what I'm saying? She's trying to redeem herself in 2025. It's new grace and new mercies that have met us here. So I'm gonna give her that. I'm
I
gonna give her
feel
that.
that. Wait, are y'all said it's still an echo? Are we still having an echo issue?
Oh, is it an echo? It said it's an echo on my end.
It is.
Oh, I'm asking it. Can you guys let us know there's still an echo?
An echo with Allie. I think I might have dealt with it, but just let us know. It's a little bit of a
Okay.
delay, y'all. Happy New Year. Thank y'all. Thank you. It's good. Oh, it's still one on Allie's end?
It's good now. Okay.
No more echo?
Okay.
Okay.
No more echo. Okay.
Naya, refresh, and then maybe you won't hear the echo. Okay, so I was gonna wait till the very end, but y'all, I literally, well, one, I came into 2025 like, okay, I got to do a better job showing up for my people. There's certain opportunities that I'm going after this year, so I'm like, period. We need to be stepping every time we step in. That's one thing. But I also suffered a loss very early on in this week. So on Monday, I got news that I lost my grandfather. So part of this today is like also me just putting myself together, and I'm hoping like, oh, you look good, so you'll feel good and you can come and distract yourself. So it's been a very, very interesting, rough start to the new year for me, but I appreciate all of the love. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate all of the compliments. They are hitting extra hard right now because, it's a little rocky for me. So I appreciate every last one of these gorgeouses that are coming across. I appreciate it so
Yes.
very, very much. Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys.
We here for you, girl. We here for you. And I think that's important too. 'Cause, we get on here, we do have a good time. Eric and I have a great time with each other and a great time with you guys. But then also knowing that amongst the both of us, we have life that be life and the things that happen, and I am grateful that, and I know it just reminiscent, bringing in 2025, and I am grateful that we do have an opportunity to cultivate community, even though we haven't met each other physically, that we do have the opportunity to cultivate a genuine community between you and I. That when we go through things, it is a, hey, how are you doing? Are you sure you want to do this? I want to make sure you are doing the best thing for you in this moment, because Erica lost her grandfather, but a couple months ago, I shared with her we were in communication. At the time, my brother was going through a situation where he had to go to a treatment center. Me and my mother had to perform CPR on him, and it was a lot going on. And I'm so grateful that when we did communicate, Erica will always ask me, how are you doing? How are things with your brother? How's your mom? Always a check in. So I am grateful, and it's important for me to let you guys know that yeah, we come on here, we do our sisters keeper, but this is a genuine relationship, a genuine dynamic, and I am grateful for that. So we're gonna keep you in prayer. We're gonna keep your family uplifted, and anything of service that we can do, we got you.
Thank you, Allie. Thank you so much. And yes, it
Yeah,
is so
absolutely.
genuine. It's so like another thing that I'm like working on in 2025 is like doing a better job of like communicating and allowing people to like really support me. So it has been great to have you and me like, hey, this is what's going on. Cuz it comes at you
Yeah,
fast. Like things just come out of nowhere and then it's just happening. And I'm glad that I could be a resource to you, and you have definitely been a support to me, and I'm so appreciative of it. There's been a few other people within the community who have known and reached out to me as well, and I'm like, lean into it, like
yeah,
take it. Like I am very much so a person of like when I'm going through things, I tend to like pull in and like turtle myself, like go into my shell, but um I don't want to do that. Like I want to utilize all of what God has blessed me with, and I've definitely been blessed with a beautiful community. So thank you guys. I really, really, really appreciate it
absolutely,
a lot. I was like, oh, if I'm gonna say it, I'll say it at
absolutely.
the end because I don't want to like sour the tone. But I'm here and I'm excited to be here. I definitely need something to do in the midst of like all of the things that's happening and prepping to go back to Baltimore for funerals and other stuff, this has been something I'll like look forward to, because other than this, it's just been like, okay, so what do I do now? All right.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go back into it. So that's where we're at, y'all. If you notice something off of me, that is probably why I might go in and out. I'm doing my very best. I'm always gonna try to show up my very best for y'all. And I appreciate the community that you provide us. Allie, I love you dearly. And
Yes.
this we locked in
Love you so,
for real, for
girl.
real. And it's so poignant that we have cultivated this relationship, never having physically met, but over the course of this show, Sistas, and it's like I feel like we do a good job, even with never physically having met, creating true sisterhood and operating within that. And so, like, I'm
Yes.
honestly a little bit ironic
Yes.
because the sisters sometimes don't be giving
Yeah.
what sisters need to give. But me and Allie got y'all.
That's true now. That's true. That's true.
Okay. So, like I said, the
That is
four main
true.
things we're talking about tonight: power plays, Andy and Robin, Cha, sister circle, the friendships percolating, how things percolate, as well as the interpersonal relationships, because there's a big one with Karen and Fatima today. Mental health check,
Mm-hmm.
how's your heart posture, all of that. Checking in with oneself. Danny, that's gonna be brought to you by Daniela King, and then labor and love is gonna be our final segment. So stay with us throughout the entire episode, y'all. It's going to be a good one. Let me go through some of y'all's ratings so we can get started. Perspective Plans was first in here and said 5.5 for the episode. Period. They gotta come harder. Maggie, you gotta come harder. Perspective Plan said you're not coming hard enough. Okay, Tracy B said a 4.5 for the episode. Deduction for the continuity mess up at the beginning with Fatima calling Andy, telling her that she's at the hospital when the scene hasn't happened yet. Child, I said what?
What?
Ellie,
Yes.
that's such a rookie mistake, though. Like, that was just
Oh
such
my
a.
gosh. Yeah. It was such a Ricky mistake. It was so bad. I literally I was rewinding it because I thought I messed up
Mm-hmm.
something. I thought I hit something, and I was like, "Wait a minute, didn't I just see?" And I knew I was right because I was writing this. I was putting the scenes in order on my tablet. I said, "Wait a minute," but I said, "See, somebody need to be fired. Somebody need to be on their first and final for that."
Period.
Because as you stated, that is such a Ricky mistake, and it should not be happening 8 seasons in,
At
5 years
all.
later.
In season
No.
8, like, come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now. Shell
Yeah.
gave it a 4. Hey, boo, welcome in. Hey, Trina. Hey, Laverne. Hey, Vaughn. Shout out to Vaughn, our lovely moderator. Hey, A Noel. Hope you're feeling better, Vaughn. And thank you for the messages. I haven't really responded in DM, but I saw that you sent me some things, Vaughn. So I'm so sorry I didn't get back to you, but it's just been a crazy couple of days for me. Hey Vincent, welcome in. Tiff Jones, Demetria, Cheryl D. Happy New Year, everybody. Hey Shari P. How are you, honey? Hey Janelle, Angie, Tracy, Lynn. Hey Lynn Williams. Yes, let's pray for New Orleans. I
Yes.
cannot believe. Hey Alicia Green, Wall 4048. Everybody else, did y'all drop y'all's ratings? Janelle gave it a 4. Demetria gave it a 4. Kay gave it a 5. NWO8 gave it a 6 out of 10. Lynn gave it a 5. Y'all all hover around the middle. Y'all like, listen, we ain't gonna be able to make it enough. We've been watching for 8 seasons. This ain't enough. It ain't
And
enough.
enough.
Naya said definitely a 6, maybe a 6.5. Save Sister 1965 said it's a 4. Okay. Okay, Mel Cunningham gave it a 5.5. What you rating that, Allie?
I think I'm about 4.5 to a 5.
Okay.
That's where I am. Yeah.
Wanda just
There were some deductions for me. There were some deductions. But I'm a rest. I'm gonna give it a cool 5. I'm gonna give it a cool 5.
okay. Wanda said a 6. Kelly Hester Jones, hey boo, said 5. Valerie gave it a 6. Diva Savage. Oh, you just took it back. I was about to read you gave it a 5, but you took it back. What, you about to change it? Oh, a 4. Sad. You know what? Actually, because of that editing error, I'm gonna make it a 4. I'm gonna probably give it a 6.
Yeah.
It's just barely passing. It was definitely a D. It's enough for us to be on TV. It's the bare minimum, honestly. It's where we should be. Like, no other episode should fall below what the hell this episode was, as it pertains to story, as it pertains to pacing, as it pertains to like balancing with the character line, like storylines and how everything was rolling out. This is where you start. From now on, this is where you episode and above. You do not drop below this.
And above.
We're tired of giving y'all 2s, 3s, and 4s. Okay? We're tired. Mimi Loves Peace at a 4.
We are.
Hey, Lady E, welcome in. Happy New Year. Yeah, Janelle said I'm gonna need more. Period. All right, let's start with the power plays in this professional drama. Cause we get Andy. She decided maybe these little lessons that Fatima gave actually worked out. She got her taekwondo on, her Billy Blanks up in the building, had her mace ready, and then she turns on the little investigator, who happens to be the firm's go-to investigator guy. She sees that after she already maces his ass, and then unleashes a couple little only to find out that Robin has tasked this man with following her, not only to keep tabs on her, but hopefully to keep her safe. And Andy got a problem with that. How are you feeling about this scene, Allie?
I'm not gonna lie, I did chuckle. First of all, KJ is a great actress because just in that one scene alone, she went through so many emotions, the fear, being scared that she's being followed and chased, and then to go into this protective mode where she's protecting herself physically. And then when she recognizes the guy, she's talking about, and for whatever reason, that just it tickled me. And I was like, KJ, sis, you annoy me with Andy, but baby, I cannot take away your talent. You are truly that chick. Like you are really great at what you do. When it comes to this is just me personally, I think that I understood Robin's perspective in trying to make sure that Andy was safe. However, I would have liked to be known that I was being followed. Inform me. Let me know. But then again, Andy already has some underlying issues with Robin. So regardless of what he does, he's gonna find an issue with it. But I think I would have been like, dang, you could have told me, because I just basically physically assaulted Bert when I didn't have to, and then I just felt like excuse me, I just felt like what I really did think, I said, now Andy better not let nobody else slap her. Because if she was able to take Big Boy down like that, she better be rocking on every woman, Penelope, who comes up against her. Because ain't no way you was able to mace him, punch him a few times, and cause this 6'3", 260-pound man to drop to his knees. I'm gonna need you to be on that type of energy at all times, Miss Barnes. But the dynamic between her and Robin, it's like anger, aggression, and sexual tension. I'm gonna need them to pick one. I'm gonna need them to pick one.
Yes, KJ is brilliant, and she looks like a doll. She's so gorgeous. The scene definitely gave a bunch of different elements, bunch of emotional beats. I love when the actors get to actually have some fun and really get to play in what they're giving. So cool. But
Mm-hmm.
Andy, I'm still on your ass, honey. I'm still on your ass because Robin is fired because he's just like Gary. Now all of a sudden every man is just like Gary. But when Gary's ass was Gary, for 7 seasons, ho, you was Ray Charles to it. Gary been Gary this whole entire time. Now Robin gets somebody to follow you and, oh, you Gary. And now Robin tells you to stay away from this man and he trying to control you. You Gary. Every man is Gary except for Gary Borders. Andre Bunce, please. Please. Miss me with the bullshit, pretty please, honey, because he's fired. Who you gonna get to take on your little weak ass case? Not that you did it, because you did not do it, and we know that. But also, Andrea, be for real. Like, I do not understand this random ass, like, sanctimonious position she has, and she's just like, I'm up here and everybody else is down here. It's like, girl, you actually need help. Your life is a hot ass mess. And I get it. When you look good, you feel good. But the only thing that's working for you right now is how you look, honey. Your life is in shambles. There's flames afoot. And you want to fire Robin, the only sensible person around you, including your goofy ass assistant? Please. And if Robin didn't actually like her ass, I would have loved for him to, you know what? Great, I'm fired. Cool. Let me make sure that my law firm is functioning correctly. Let me put my feelers out for somebody else to come in and take manager partner position so I can take my ass back to London, keep counting my millions. Good luck, sis. But no, we got Robin, who's like in love with Andy, apparently, which we never got to see. So now we're going to get to watch her like dog walk him for whatever. So I really couldn't give into that scene, Allie, and fully enjoy it. Because once she gets to well, first of all, I thought that she was going to fire him before. I have been waiting for Andy to say you're fired at least for 2 episodes. Full stop. I just knew it was coming because you're fired. Like, she's grasping for power as much as she possibly can. And this is like her last card that she could play in reference to power plays. Whatever. Cool. But Robin's in love. And now we're going to have to watch him wallow behind her. It's just like, oh, please. So I couldn't really enjoy the comedy, the concern, the like all that KJ was tapped into with Andy, because then Andy just was going to be Andy and then gets into the goddamn Bentley. When I tell you the things that I want to happen to this Bentley, she don't need to be in the car, but the way I want this goddamn Bentley to explode. The way I want the penthouse to catch fire, Allie. Like, every man is scary, but you proudly put your little pretty ass in that damn seat of that Bentley he bought you. You sleep your ass soundly at night in that goofy ass penthouse he got you. But Robin's the problem. Andrea. Yeah. That's my thoughts on that scene.
Yeah. Not to say with me now, maybe I was able to enjoy that scene a little bit more, is because for whatever reason, I don't think that Robin is squeaky clean. Something about him is giving me a little vibe that he just may not be on the up and up per se. He may be on the up, but not on the up and up. I think something in the milk ain't clean with Robin. I don't know what it is at this point, but I just feel like something's not all the way legit with him.
Really?
I forgot that Andy said. I do. I don't think that he's and even in my recent videos I talked about it, I don't know if I trust Robin all the way. I don't know. Now I would not go as far as calling. I forgot that she said he's like Gary. Because when she said that, now I've been binging all the old episodes of Sistas. The fact that Andy could even fix her mouth to say that to Robin is a show is an astronomical insult.
Yeah.
To say the least. To say the least. I said, baby, you're just like Gary, so he's tried to kill you. Gary is the stalker. Gary is the one who gave you the engagement ring that you couldn't take off. Gary is the one who was messing around with you and allowed his ex-wife to come up in your house, his wife at the time, to come in the house and present a gun and shoot him with rubber bullets. He's like, Gary? I said, baby girl, you slept with that demon for 7 seasons. You endured his lies and deceit for 7 seasons. You've been dealing with Robin for what? 11 episodes, and you had the audacity to say he's like Gary? No, ma'am. That was an insult if I ever heard one. No.
I love when we find ourselves on opposite ends. I absolutely love it, because then I feel like, okay,
I love it. I do.
We can really get to what we need to get to and cover so much in between, right? I am staunchly, like, with every passing episode, I am staunchly on Robin's side, and I really don't think that there's anything else. I think, unfortunately, we're into the era where Robin is actually in love with Andy and wants to be with her, and in whatever capacity that's going to look like, which is something speaking to the damn preview, right? And I think that he is doing his due diligence to try to protect her the best way that he knows how, but also knowing who she is. So, like Vaughn said, that she would want to know that she was being followed. Theoretically, we all would want to know that we're being followed until we know that we're being followed, and then we switch up and then we hide. Like Andy hides things. Andy is manipulative. Andy is a liar. Andy does not think things through. So I 100% understand having Andy followed, because she's the same girl that was just like, you think that they will be watching me? Of course they're watching you. My ass is also watching you. You're simple. You're simple at best, manipulative and trifling at worst. Like, and honestly, that person, he fucked up and like getting too close and like making her, feel uncomfortable with his proximity.
Mm-hmm.
So that's his fault. But I personally don't see that Robin was wrong in even tasking this man, who Andy actually did know, who she has probably used before, to do what she has known he actually does and does well, to protect her. I think even when it goes back to, and it could just be because I like Robin's character and I don't trust Andy's ass and I want Andy ass to get her together, but if she not, I'm gonna keep my foot on that damn girl neck. Um, it might also be just because I'm like really, really rooting for Robin. But like, even going back to the meeting with the partners, I don't believe that he actually wanted her to be suspended like that. I think that the white people wanted to fire Andy, and the only reason why she's suspended is because of Robin. Like Robin, I feel like is the glue that's holding her to the little semblance of the life that she has, because she's a hot ass mess walking. And while yes, Miss Marie was the billionaire that you actually helped out, which brought money to this firm, you repeatedly bring shame and bring embarrassment to the firm. Before Miss Marie, the last string of clients you had was all your felon ass friends. And then
Facts.
before that, yes, you were back in billionaire row, millionaire row, but you were sleeping with one of the damn wives that you was going to have to help get the damn divorce. Like, at the end of the day, all money ain't good money, and even white people every now and again gonna cut something if they think that it's gonna cost them a little bit too much. And Andrea Barnes, to me, I think that she, not that she shouldn't think highly of herself, because yes, have confidence, yes, be proud, yes, know that you have a certain level of intellect, but girl, you're thinking a little bit too highly of yourself because you don't operate at the level in which you think that you operate. So you're not actually as valuable as you deem yourself to be. You are much more, to me, given liability than you are given asset. And I think that Robin sees all of that, and by trying to coddle Andy and not hurt her feelings because he actually gives a shit about her, he's not saying any of those things. And I think for the people who struggle with Robin and like trying to figure out where he at, if he would tell her the truth, I think that y'all would be like, all right. But because he's also dancing around not telling her the truth because he's worried about her goofy ass feelings, it makes him look shady.
I think for me, when it comes to the shadiness, like of Robin, and it could be the way that he would just reintroduce to us. But I've never been. I think the man is fine, but I've never been one to root for him. I've never been one to root for him and Andy. And I think especially to me, the show does a horrible job at this. And that's why I said I had deductions for the episode, because they send specifically these men, they come into these women's lives and we get this profession of love. I'm in love with you. And I think that you're so amazing. And it's something that we talked about a lot. You're telling us this, but you have not shown us this. And based on what Robin is saying, and then in comparison to what has been shown of his character, those two that just don't line up to me. So it's kind of hard for me to look at him like, how did you get here?
Mm.
Like, how did you get here with Andy? And all I can go off of is that this woman partook in a threesome with you. You were on her sexually the moment you got to the law firm, because you had already been looking at her social media pages or whatever. So there was already, for to me, an infatuation with Andy before you even really knew who she was. And then when you got to know her, what was it about Andy? Because she was messing with you while she was engaged. So there's nothing that clicks for me to. I can't vibe with the I'm so in love with Andy and you're just this incredible person, because that's bullcrap. But I just think the way that he was reintroduced back to the audience, you come in the nick of time, you pop up, you did like it just I don't know, it's not maybe because it's just not connecting with me,
Yeah.
and I'm not like a huge fan of the character anyway. So maybe that could be it as
I
well.
think
But I just don't feel like
I
Robin is
think
too
that
clean.
that is valid. That's very, very valid because at the end of the day, this is something I'm choosing in the moment of like Robin is in love with Andy. I'm choosing to take what they said because they did not set it up well at all. At all. Like there are so many writing holes that are also like effing up the story that they're trying to tell. So that's also I think how I'm arriving at the place of like I don't actually think that there's anything else to Robin. Like I don't think that he's hiding anything. Because I'm like when you consider in the writing X Y like da 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 da, it actually like all right, fine. If I'm gonna go with this, then that makes sense. But I again understand how you are like that. This don't actually line up because where the hell did all this love and adoration come from? Because that's real. I just feel like unfortunately we're with people, and this is for the writer or speaking specifically to the writers right now, who are not actually committed with showing us everything. And at some point, we just have to accept that they tell us because they keep doing that.
Yeah. Excuse me.
And it also
I agree
feels
with that.
like I also am like picking up on stuff when we think about like the trailers or whatever. Like Andy's going to ask him, "Did you stab Gary?" That to me tells me immediately that it's not him.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and
And because
I
I ain't gonna lie.
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. But when I saw that preview, when she was like, "Did you stab Gary?" Because I was like, "That's a legit question." But girl, you like to me, it's like you think this man would do all of that, risk his position in his law firm, risk being an attorney, risk his reputation for you. He might be in love with you, but I don't think he's dangerously in love with you. You're I don't think he's willing to take that type of risk for Andy. And then I'm thinking, what made you ask him that? Like what made you I mean, but hell, she thinks he's like Gary, so
That's the
they don't
thing.
have to be
It's
around
I
in a
don't necessarily
reason.
know if I believe the archetype that they're building up for him as a character, but I believe that we're at a place right now where they have an agenda for Andy, and I feel like we're on a
Mm-hmm.
redemption of Andy. So like having spent 6 seasons
Yes.
watching Gary drag her to hell, I could totally see the next thing for the writers thinking that like this is the most brilliant ever is that she has this man who's like utterly obsessed and like wants to roll out all the red carpet, blah 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 blah, blah and she can't possibly see it because she's so tainted. That's also another for me another tally in the like Robin's really not gonna hurt her because they're to me it feels like the writers are on a mission when it comes to Robin and how he interacts with Andy.
I agree with that. And I do believe the writers are on this mission for the redemption of Andy Barnes. I really do believe that. And it's so interesting because I heard KJ say, when they was on like a recap for season 8, and she made a statement. She said, because when the show first started, Andy had it all together. I said, what show were you acting on? What script were you reading? This is not Andy Barnes talking. This is KJ Smith Black talking. It was a little, baby, what's going on? Because I know you didn't feel that way for real,
Can't
KJ. I know you
possibly
didn't.
be
You couldn't have
had it all together. Had it all together
had it
where
all together. That's what she said,
in
man.
Narnia?
If I could
Where did
find
you
the
have it
link,
all
I'm gonna
together,
send it to
sweetie?
you. I said, wait a minute. Andy had it all together, and then she began to unravel. Andy was unraveled the first scene of season 1, episode 1. What are you talking about?
We weren't even 2 episodes in and she crying in the bathroom. Broken.
Yes, broken, honey,
Girl, we opened the series
unraveled.
with you getting your back blown out at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then the man immediately leaves on your birthday. You never
On my
had it, honey.
birthday,
It was never in your grasp. It was just quite literally never in your possession. What are you talking about? Don't make me go back now. Don't make me go back,
oh
Andre
my
Barnes.
god.
Had it together.
Yes, she said that. She said that, honey.
Baby, I would lean
She
into the
so
fact that
did.
you probably would never play with a full deck to begin with.
Never, never, honey,
Orange Pepper said she had it together with a married
never.
man. Hold together. It was
With a
on.
married man, with Jasmine husband, you had it all together with Jasmine
That's a
husband. Yep,
chuckle. I
so
like
did.
that. I like that. How y'all feeling about it?
Yeah,
How y'all feeling
child.
about Andy firing Robin? Andy confronting Robin? Y'all with it? Y'all team Andy or you team Robin? Let me know in the chat real quick.
I'm Team Robin when it comes to him being her lawyer. Because baby, who finna represent you? You are damaged goods, legit. You should have kept him. I said you're fired. I said, girl, who you? I said Andy. And see, this is another thing why they getting their thoughts together in the chat. This is another reason why I agree with you. Andy's not working with a full deck of cards because we are being told you're this great lawyer. You are just such an asset, excuse me, to the firm. But then you do things almost every episode that make me question: did you really pass the bar? Because the things that Morris said about you, sometimes they ring true. It ain't all about your intellect. It's not really about how great you are as a lawyer. You're just, you're like a trophy, and you fit more and more of that narrative episode by episode.
I put up a poll, y'all. Y'all team Robin or you team Andy? What we talking about before we move on? Where I just gotta see where my people is at on this one.
This is hilarious. Somebody said team neither.
Team Nathan, yes. Go ahead and answer the poll for us, pretty please, y'all. These headphones are so low.
It's Naya's comment for me. Oh my lord.
Damn it. Put my headphones on. I can barely hear. Can you hear me, Ellie?
I can hear you.
Child, those other headphones were low for me. So now I gotta figure this out. Okay. Not 81% right now talking about their team Robin. I'm gonna be also like super, super transparent, y'all. I'm gonna be very transparent. Part of my adoration or love for Robin comes from the fact of he is one of the characters that is not super flat in the show. So even if I'm not necessarily fully on board with what he's doing or what they have him doing, the way that the actor delivers it, it's almost like Gary, but nicer. So I also find myself defaulting to like, yeah, I'm with whatever Robin doing because it makes the show interesting. It would be bland. It would be boring. It would
Absolutely.
it would just be without him. So I feel like part of that is like maybe there could be something of like there is something to him and he might be sneaky or whatever, but I don't even care. Whatever you doing, keep doing that because it's making the show, you know? Or
Yeah.
at least it's making a
I
strong
agree with
part
you.
of
Like,
it.
I agree with you wholeheartedly because my thing is like with Gary, you instantly knew he was on BS from the very beginning. That you knew that. With the character of Robin, it's like I like you. I don't really know if I can trust you. But even if I can't trust you, you're doing a good job of making me think I can trust you.
Yep.
Like the way that, even the way that the way that he went, girl, when Andy got in that car, I said, baby, was KJ having difficulty turning that wheel? Because it looked like she was having some problems getting that car up out that fucking garage. But the way that the character, I can't think of his name right now, but the way that Robin just stood there spoke
Austin,
volumes.
yeah, yeah.
Austin, thank you. The way that he stood there spoke volumes to me. It was kind of like, even the duality and the tug of war of the professional versus his personal feelings for
Mm-hmm.
Andy, and having to battle with that, deal with that. And I think that he showed it so well in that moment. Like, yes,
Right.
I want to protect you, I want to make sure you're safe, probably from both ends. But then to see her walk away and not be appreciative, and then the insults amongst all insults to tell this man that he's like Gary, it's kind of like, dang, like, is that really how you view me? Even though he didn't really go in depth about that, and I think just he was hurt by the statement,
Mm-hmm.
because it's somebody you love, and you know all the hell this other person has put her through, and she's comparing you to
Yep.
him. Like, and like you said, it definitely makes for great story and great TV. So I
Yeah.
love him, and the fact that he's just great to look at too.
Hello.
It all works together. That suit looked good on him.
My goodness. My goodness.
Looked good on him.
Y'all said 80% is
Yes,
Team
Lord.
Robin. We don't give a damn what Andrea Barnes' cute ass is talking about. Ain't no else says it's the quiet power for me. I like knowing he could make a call and make happen. Period. Kelsey Johnson says, "I'm team. Get Andy a therapist and a toy. She need to be lonely for a while." You ate that one,
Baby, I'm with you.
Kelsey. You ate that. You ate that.
You
But
ate that. You
yo,
did eat that, Kelsey. You did.
let's move on in the episode and discuss some mental health things, some mind body things actually, because Danny did not actually have a heart attack. She had a panic attack, and
Hmm.
instead of calling 911, she calls her therapist, but she thinks she's having a heart attack. Okay. Her therapist then does the right
Yeah.
thing and calls 911, but also rushes over to be there with her as they wait. And as she's sitting there and as she is not actually losing her life and just breathing a little heavy and her heart hurt, I think Carisha already clocked it. But of course, is going to wait for the paramedics to get there to confirm that it was 100% a panic attack. This turns into an impromptu therapy session as she allows Danny to start to unpack the situation leading up to her having this panic attack moment and what that could possibly mean. They don't go too much into depth. And Carisha winds up calling Sabrina, who was still with Rich at the time because they still doing their love and basketball thing. And then we get Rich calling Tony behind Sabrina's back. Everybody rushes over, and Danny's still mad. So one thing I want to do real quick, I have to do this. I have to give Mignon her flowers because whether I like Daniela as a character, can't actually stand Daniela King quite literally. I don't think I probably will ever be able to stand her, and even when they go off the damn air. Mignon embodies Daniela to a T. She is so dropped in. She is so connected. She is so present in the character that she built in Daniela King that it's a little bit hard for me in the audience hating Daniela and being pissed with Daniela. I mean, you can't be pissed with her while she's having a panic attack, so that's one thing. But I'm like always bouncing back and forth between like, oh, Danny, get on my nerves, and like, girl, what the hell are you doing? To like, yo, Mignon is making masterful choices just as an actor right now. Like, I'm loving that. So I want to give Mignon her flowers for even how she has crafted Daniela King over the course of these 8 seasons, because y'all hear me talk ad nauseum about Dragon Danny, but I haven't necessarily, I don't think, given enough credit to Mignon and the masterful work that she's doing with Danny. So let me like start off with that. I love her portrayal of the panic attack and like how she actually paced that out. Like it was very, very specific to me, and it hit on the beats of like she think it's more than what it is, but she ain't never experienced it before. But it can't possibly be that bad. But you also like it just had a bunch of levels and layers to it. So I really, really appreciate it. My TLDR though is Daniela, please. Please. By the time we get to the very end, I'm just like, Daniela, please. But go ahead, Abby.
No, baby, I'm with you. I like you. I'm gonna be positive first. Mignon definitely has Danny on lock. So much so, even when I don't be on Twitter anymore, but even when the cast used to be on Twitter back in the day, the way that, and because like, and I like the word that you use, the way that she has developed and crafted Danny, and she's so tapped into this, is like she, even when she's away from the character, she can turn that thing on and off to get into the psyche and the mind of Danny. Because a lot of people will come at her on Twitter, and the way that she will be able to provide nuance to why certain things happen or why Danny responds a certain way. And sometimes I'm like, Manon, that's BS, but I get it. And I mean, she plays the role masterfully. I was like, Danny, please, within the first like 3 minutes of the situation. But I do want to give Tyler his props to it and the people that and Maggie that wrote this, because I think overall Tyler does a great job when he speaks about health issues that plague um Black America that plagues Black Americans, um just Black people in general, high blood pressure, diabetes, getting checked, finding out what's going on with you. And I think that it is such an important element to put into the writing, the difference between a panic attack and a heart attack. And even when the guy came in to even tell Danny that there's a difference with how heart attacks affect women in comparison to men. Because a woman could be having a heart attack and really not even know it, because it's not as, you know, what's what I want to use? I guess as intense as it would be for a man. So I like that they did implement that thing. But with Danny, I just, like you, Erica, it's F Danny. It's F Danny for me all the way. However, with this panic attack, in a sense, I'm glad that it happened, simply because to me, I want this to be like the turning point for Danny. I
Mm,
want this to be like a
mm-hmm,
pivot in her life. Like, I don't want her to have these things. I know I've experienced a panic attack, and it's when that thing come. Oh my God!
yeah.
Like, I remember my first one, and things just it made me slow down, stop being in a rush with everything. Just take stuff, as it comes. Unfortunately for this the character, she has all these vices that to me Danny is addicted to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's addicted to the vaping, she's addicted to the drinking, she's addicted to using sex as a way to cope with certain things. So there are a lot of things that Danny is going to have to work through if she really wants to become this better person or get to the other side, of the fence. So I'm interested in seeing. I don't have a lot of hope for it, but I do want to see this character grow from this experience. And I also, and help me if I'm wrong, because I know initially she was kind of blaming Tony for the panic attack, but then she changed and said he
Mm-hmm.
wasn't responsible,
Mm-hmm.
right, for
Mm-hmm.
the panic attack. Okay,
Yep.
but I'm like, you really been, honestly, I was like, Tony, when you walk out that door, don't come back no more.
And
That
he
was that
down
was
there at the
that was my
damn
thing.
bar worried. And I get it. Like,
Worried
what
and drinking.
the thing
I
that
do.
the thing
Yeah, I
that like
do.
got me like, Danny, please, is her commitment to her perception of boundaries. Because what do you mean he didn't respect your boundaries when he heard that something was wrong with you and he came running? Boundaries are like, I fear that we have like now gotten to a place where we over articulate things, and we have all this therapy speak floating around in the zeitgeist, and we think that we can just apply
Mhm.
things to whatever to fit our narrative. And it's like, no, words actually still have meanings. Boundaries are there mostly for you, actually. And that's the biggest misconception that most people have. Like, when you set boundaries with another person, that is a boundary for you. That person actually doesn't ever have to respect the line that you drew in the sand. But that line is there for you to know what you should and should not accept based off of whatever you have conjured up in your brain and whatever you feel like is worth your time, energy, effort, whatever. So like the way that she keeps hurling, he doesn't respect my boundaries while also still never leaving the relationship. I'm just like, I'm calling bullshit because this isn't about boundaries. You want us to believe so bad that Tony is in this relationship trying to control you when the real tea is you're pissed that he's not letting you control him. Because that's what I'm seeing.
Come, you better speak.
That's what I'm seeing, Allie. Every time he doesn't do things the way that you want them to be done, doesn't say things the way that you want things to be said, doesn't see things the way that you want things to be seen, now it's a problem. If he takes initiative, it's a problem. If he surprises you, it's a problem. But he's the control freak in the relationship. You can't even let go, and let this man love you. But he's the control freak. You literally just wanted to control how he responded to hearing that you had a medical emergency in your home within the hour that he left you. That is not about him crossing the line and crossing your boundaries. That's about you not being able to manage this man. And the same criticism that I'll give men as it pertains to go and find a hoe that you actually looking for, and not hoe as in slut, but like I like the word hoe and I'm going to keep liking it in
Yeah,
2025.
yeah.
If you want the girl that you can slut out, then go find a slut. If you want the church girl, then go get the church girl. Daniela, if you want a man to be at your beck and call, to listen to your dumb to only be on sex, to not have no type of plan, no ambition, no motivation, no nothing, then go and find the low life that don't want anything. We have to stop as people, whether it's male or female, we have to stop being out here in the dating scene, out here in the world, reaching and grasping for people that we actually don't really want, thinking that we want them, trying to convince ourselves that we want them. And I'm gonna take it one step further. You can want them all the hell you like, but are you even qualified for this person? Stop reaching for people that you're unqualified to handle. Stop getting into a relationship with people that you're unqualified to love. Call the thing a thing. Erica is not getting with no more boys. Period. Erica could never get into a relationship with no ambition, with no plan, a nigga, no future, with no vision. She has too much ambition for that. She has too many wants for that. She knows exactly how she wants to be and needs to be loved for that. So I would be the idiot to go pick up some random off the street and holler and screaming, "Oh, you ain't loving me right. Oh, you da 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 da." He was never gonna do that. Tony came into the situation with 2 kids, a failed marriage, and still hoping that he can turn it around and get his fairy tale forever ever after. You have never said that you wanted happily ever after. You have never said that you wanted marriage. You have never said that you wanted any of those things, but you're going to reach your hands out and touch the nigga who want all those things. And now you mad, and now he controlling because he wants things that you knew that he wanted, and you say you want him, and it don't even matter what he want, and you're mad that he hasn't dropped his wants to just sit around and do stupid shit with you. This is not just you trying to do hood rat shit with your hood rat friends. This man got a plan. And if you don't want to be a part of the plan and you don't got a plan for yourself, Danny, let him go. Release yourself and release him. Because you're creating problems where there are none.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Can we pass around that collection plate? Can we pass around the collection plate? Because baby, that was church. That was church.
It just
That
started clicking
was,
for
and
me,
I
Ellie.
think that's because, huh?
It just started clicking for me.
Yeah. And it's so important because the what I think what we're seeing with Danny and Tony is a lot of what I know personally I have seen in my life with some of my friends who I see them connecting themselves with. And my first question is, why are you doing it?
Mm.
Not that you are not a good woman or not that you're not a good man, but who you're trying to connect yourself to, you ain't ready for that. You're not ready for it. And so even with Tony, and I know I'm the person, and this is my personality. When I notice something ain't going right and I'm asking the person like, hey, what's going on, so on and so forth. If I know you're not being, honest with me, I'm not even going to give you the opportunity to end it. I'm gonna bow out gracefully because you're not going to string me along. You're not going to continue to let this go. I'm not going to waste my time and I'm not going to waste yours. So let's just bow out because it's not being beneficial for either one of us. It's no longer serving us. And so, Tony, Danny is not going to be the one to let you go. So you're going to have to pull up your big boy drawers and take your behind on. It's not even worth it. And so, and I ain't going to lie, even the scene with Rich and Tony, I was getting a little pissed off because I was looking at the time and I'm like, why are we spending so much time with them?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't care. But in essence, I did care because I'm like, this guy genuinely loves Danny. Like
Mm-hmm.
well, I don't know why, but he genuinely loves this woman. Even talking about his ex-wife, and he wanted to get things right with Danny. And going back to your statement, why Danny never said she wanted to be a wife. Danny has never said, even to the audience, that she wants to be a mother. These are not attributes that Danny has. So why are you investing time in a woman who doesn't want the same things that you want? And
Mm-hmm.
then we'll get mad and say, that he wasted 5 years of my life. No, you wasted 5 years of your life.
Yep.
You could clearly see God didn't want the same thing, but you had hopes like Sabrina. You could change their mind into wanting kids, change his mind into getting married, change his mind to relocate to another state, even though he couldn't pop his bum titty out his mouth. Like those are things that we banking that we can change. No,
Mm-hmm.
you got one time to show me that. Wow, we on two different paths. I'm not gonna wait to see if you change your mind. I'm not. No,
Yeah.
this ain't gonna work. Nothing but the best for you to you. But with Danny, I think the thing that frustrated me going back to a previous episode when she blamed him for, she said she felt like he was trying to use her therapy as a way to judge her. When Danny made that statement to Tony, everything else for me was like, I don't give a damn what Danny says at this point because the way that you are projecting and deflecting when it comes to your own personal shortcomings and trying to blame this man who genuinely just wants to love you, you're not ready for him. You're not ready for that type of love that he definitely possesses and wants to give. So Tony, baby, bow out. And now you drinking, blaming yourself for Danny. Why?
Why?
Absolutely not.
I maybe is Erica coming into 25 just saying the thing and like y'all's feelings? Because what I'm feeling called to say right now, y'all, is it sounds cute of like, oh, I don't judge. We need to judge. Full stop. You need to be judging your past self, your past decision, your past mindset, the things that you did before. Your loved one should be judging you. They can still love you, but this ideal of like, oh, I don't want you judging me. It's unrealistic and it's unattainable. Everybody judges everything and everyone, and you honestly should be judging yourself. So Daniela's fixation on I don't you're judging me because of da 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 da. And if he is, if anything, what do judges do within our judicial system? And not to say that our judicial system is correct, not at all, but just roll with me here objectively. They're
Hmm.
there to
Hmm.
hear the evidence laid out by both sides and make an objective and fair ruling based off of the evidence presented in whatever case they are hearing. So judgment isn't inherently wrong. Even if he is judging you, but still deciding to stand by you, still trying to offer up band-aids and opportunities and things that can assist you out of the peril that you actually in that he judged and saw for himself. Or like, this girl's a hot ass mess in this area. Let me give her this so that maybe she could be less of a hot mess. What's wrong with that? To me, that's big girl speak. That's grown woman ass speak. Because if I go into a
Yes.
relationship now 100%. I would expect once the partner is it can actually see me, the first thing that they gonna clock is like you want to be superwoman to everybody, and then you don't even save yourself. Clock that. Like, and I'm not gonna be like, "Well, you over there." No, it's the fucking truth. We need to get to a place where we can
Hmm.
tell each other the damn truth. And I have yet to hear Tony not tell Daniela the truth, and you're pissed at him about it. This society that we're in, this era that we're in, we're so convinced we're like trying to like be so concerned about everybody's feelings. And while I love feelings and emotions, express your feelings, let's communicate your feelings and consider people's feelings to a certain degree. Do not consider your feelings so much so that nobody can ever tell your ass the truth. Don't consider everybody's feelings so much and make
Mm.
everything so nice, soft, and fluffy that they don't never hear what's actually real. because that's that keeps you stuck. Your homegirls have not been telling you the goddamn truth for the last 15 years, so you've been able to spiral to a place where you're a trash ass friend. And they need to set your ass to the side, but they have yet to do it. So you have yet to grow. Nobody is pushing Daniela to grow out of her childish ass mindset, to grow out of her stupid ass limiting beliefs. And then when a man comes into a situation who can actually do that, now he's the damn devil walking, because he's filling in gaps that everybody else around you that quote unquote love you has let fester, because they were more worried about how you felt or how you received something versus you getting that you needed to be the better person that you needed to be. Don't do me like that. Tell me the damn truth. I call my friends up to this day.
Next.
I'm going to tell you how I feel. Tell me if I'm tripping. For real. I don't want you to coddle me. I don't want you to no, it's all them. Because a lot of times it's not. And now my dumb diddy ass is running around here thinking I'm right. All up on my high horse. Stupid as hell. Daniela is quite literally the result of creating a life where nobody either feels safe enough, comfortable enough, or loving enough to tell her the goddamn truth. And that's what results.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Those are facts. And the fact that it's been going on for so long, like I said, I've been binge watching old episodes. The time where Karen let her know that Preston was at her salon with another woman. She instantly, why you did that, Karen? Oh, you're a B. I'm like, you called this girl
You're
out your name because
jealous.
she's being a friend to you?
She's jealous you're getting cheated on?
Right. You're jealous and unhappy. You just want everybody to be. And I would have been like, I can't say what I was going, what I would have said on air. But what I will say is that we have been dealing with this situation with Danny, and I'm glad that you broke it down. Like either people don't feel comfortable enough, safe enough, because it's always I'm coming back at you for trying to protect me. And even Karen's response was, "Did you not tell me everything that Zach did, even down to the situation with Fatima? You couldn't wait to tell me. You couldn't wait to reveal things to me. Now that I'm doing my due diligence as your sister to let you know that the dude who I thought you were in a relationship with is down here with another woman, and you're mad at me. You have all the audacity." But again, it's Danny.
Yep.
You know, and sometimes people get comfortable with girls. That's just them. That's not acceptable in my life. And for me and what I want and the people who I can choose to be in my life, that's not acceptable for me to say, oh, well, girl, even for myself, girl, that's just how Alicia is. No, Alicia wrong. That needs to be corrected. If Alicia want to be a part of this, then there are certain things she needs to tweak about that because that is offensive or she was disrespectful. Call me out on it. I try to accurately assess myself, and I don't try to give myself a favorable nod or the benefit of the doubt. I'm extremely hard on myself. So for those around me, hold me accountable. Don't let me get away with stuff. That's like even with guys. I tell quick, I can be. I choose not to be because I could be very manipulative.
Mm-hmm.
I could be very slimy if I choose to be, but that's not who I want to be. So I don't do those things. So for me, it's like with Danny, you don't want to grow. You really don't want what you say you want. Hell, we don't even know really what you want. All I can say is that you just want the bottom of the bottom. And you connected with yourself with the man who refuses to be at the bottom. So until you're ready to rise up, you need to let Tony rise and get the hell on away from you. Just you're not ready.
It's that though, Allie.
You're not ready.
It's the she doesn't know what she wants and she doesn't know who she wants to be. That you hit it the nail on the head, because you and I can go into our relationships and be in a position to be held accountable because we've already communicated what we have consented to people expecting from us. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
I want to be a girl that people know is going to be honest, real rap raw. I want to be the girl that my friends know if I'm out of line, I can be approached because I don't actually intend to be. I'm 100% leading with passion, fire, yes, but it's all coming with love. But that's what I have communicated because I've already figured out this is the woman I want to be. So now it's up to the people who love me, who are around me, to check me in certain areas when I'm no longer living up to who I said I wanted to be. But she has yet to communicate to anybody else who she wants to be. But then also, I don't think she's actually figured it out for her damn self. So then when somebody comes in and they're holding you even to a generic standard, like I feel like Tony's holding her to the most basic generic standard of like, okay, you want to be a decent chick. That's not even good enough. That's even a problem because who said I wanted to do that? Well, girl, you need to say something or leave everybody else alone until you figure it out. Because you're running in circles with VPs and with junior partners and with entrepreneurs and with law students. But you don't want nothing out of life. You ain't got nothing to add but some goddamn alcohol in the vape pen. Like you don't that don't go, honey. That don't go. That's not really how that works.
Facts.
Come on. I love it. This is getting good tonight, y'all. This is getting good. Anybody else want to share some thoughts on Danny before we move on? Because we did kind of go to church, y'all. I don't even know where that came from. It just it was compelled out of me because I just got pissed for a hot second.
Yeah.
And if you don't get nothing else from our Sistas Keeper, y'all, you gonna get the real. So if you are in a space of any of these sisters and something hits you hard, just take it. It's for you. It was supposed to. The way that some of this stuff, I have not even thought about it in the way that I might have articulated it, and it comes out of me. It got to be for a reason. It has to be.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think one of the most powerful things tonight was talking about boundaries and how boundaries are for you and not for the other person. They actually don't have to even respect your damn boundary. It's your boundary. It's a reason why you created the boundary for whatever goal you have, for whatever you're trying not to partake in. It's your boundary. So when I see my boundary is getting crossed, okay, it's time for me to go.
Yep.
This is no, this is not. Well, he's not respecting my boundary. What boundary? You don't have no boundaries. You have not communicated what the boundaries are. Him being, but I will say to me, this passive aggressiveness with Sabrina. Well, to be fair, you would have a problem if he didn't come check on you. I'm like, Sabrina, I'm gonna need you to get a little bit more bass in your voice.
Hello.
I know your sister's had a panic attack. I understand, baby. She just had a panic attack. But I need you to reach deep down these past 18, 19 years. You've been friends with her and have allowed this behavior to go on. I need you to speak from that place. I need you to speak the truth. But Sabrina, come on now.
Come on.
You got to do more.
You do.
You got to do more.
It's time. And it'll be beneficial to you. You show up for Daniela in a way that's a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more in her face, and it will also trickle down and help you out in how you showing up in life, period. But that's, that's just another thing.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
All right, y'all. We're going to get into the sister circle, friendship bonds, and boundaries. I appreciate how, when I really started to think about it, I appreciate how Maggie laid out this episode and specifically the things that she was able to touch on, because one of our big criticisms that we have had thus far has been the lack of the sisters operating like actual sisters and us not actually seeing the build up to how they actually maintain this friendship or like showing up for one another, just confirming that they are actually sisters outside of the name of the show and them calling each other that because they have known each other for God knows how long. So in this episode, we get to see Sabrina drop everything and run to Danny. And Danny like, yes, call Sabrina. That's the one I trust. We see Andy drop everything and run to Karen when she hears about Karen potentially going into labor. And even with Fatima as that like fifth sister who's like kind of around the periphery, I would also give her credit to like showing up for Karen in a very honest way until it goes left within the conversation with Zach, because he was inappropriate, he was overstepping, he was doing too much, and regardless of how much I love you, regardless of you my husband to be, regardless of you my future baby daddy, like this is not okay and you should not do this to her. So there's so many pieces and elements of like friendship actually being displayed, and they did it in a way of showing and not all this goofy ass telling. So like now I can like lean into like, okay, yes, Danny trusts Sabrina above all else. It's not just her want to whip on Sabrina because Sabrina is the most easily influenced. Like, no, she actually feels safe with Sabrina, and this is what that looks like. This is a call to that. Andy, who most of season 7 we saw missing in action as it pertained to Karen, dropping everything to run to her, speaks volumes of like, okay, she does actually regard this girl like this is my best friend, and Fatima hasn't fully replaced her yet, maybe. Okay, and then this is what the potential of the Karen and Fatima friendship could look like before it goes left. Now, this is why we also add on here from the friendship bonds to the boundaries, because Fatima also made a very valid point about communicating the boundaries of Karen. You should not be bringing your ass over here. You would not like it if X Y Z bop de boom, and I'm gonna stand on that. Now, I still haven't figured out where I fall in the standing on business of the boundary of not showing up. Because I wasn't necessarily mad at Karen, but y'all know I don't be getting mad at Karen. Allie, how you feel?
That was a lot said,
Oh, it was. I'm sorry.
and it was great. No, 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 because I want to touch on briefly what you said, as I thought it was great how Maggie wrote this episode. I'm gonna give her props for this because, just like you said, when Danny gave Carisha her phone, Carisha asked, "Okay, you need your girlfriends. Who do you want me to call?" And she said Sabrina, and I was like, I like how she did that. And
Mm-hmm.
then even for Karen, Fatima has everybody's phone number, but she knew exactly who to call, and it was only Andy. So I like how they play with that dynamic, and I think she did a great job into silencing people who love to say how Karen and Andy always keep stuff to themselves. They don't never tell Sabrina and Danny. And I've always stood on the fact that I think that Danny and Sabrina had their vibe. Karen and Andy had their vibe, but I do love the fact that they were all friends, and just like in friendship dynamics, sometimes you're closer to one or two people more than the other, and that's fine. It doesn't mean you're not friends. We just have a different dynamic with each other. So I loved how she did that. Going to Karen showing up to Zach them house. I just have an issue with people popping up in general. Like, to me, that's one of my things. However, I do agree with Fatima when she was like, "Hey, he decided to do too much over the phone. You doing it in my living room."
Mm-hmm.
And even making the point like, Karen, you wouldn't like, and I like the fact that Karen was like, no, I wouldn't, but I felt like I had a right because he talking about custody and this, and it's like, no, I need to see you face to face. I understood what Karen was saying, because I think there's a big difference. I don't want to have a conversation with you over the phone nor text message about custody and about what you are requiring that I do with my body concerning my children. Now, maybe I would have sent you a text and said, hey, I'm on my way, but she didn't. She just showed up. And the thing about
Well,
showing
we
up,
don't know
you don't
that.
have to let me in
We
your
don't know
house.
that. Well, we know she didn't send a text, but at least she did call. He wasn't answering her phone calls either. We can't forget that.
Okay, so that's what it was. Okay, so that's
She
what it
called a
was.
bunch of
She
times and he
called
didn't
and
answer.
he wasn't answering. So she popped up. So that's what I'm saying, because I'm not having a conversation with you about kids, custody, money, and my body with my children over the phone. I want to see you face to face. That's a face to face conversation. So even though no, I wasn't mad at Karen for showing up, I just don't want her over there because
Yeah.
this damn house is becoming the house of revelation for my good sis, and I don't like it.
Ooh,
It
break
was
that
the
down,
reason of
Allie. Break that
revelation
down.
when she found out. It was the house of revelation when she found out about the engagement ring. First, I got to come in your house and see the very desk you said you made for me. You made for this chick. Then on top of that, I walk over and it's an engagement ring. Y'all engaged? So Karen found out that Fatima and Zach were engaged in that house, and she found out that Fatima was pregnant in that house. I said, y'all not gonna reveal another damn thing to my good sis in this one bedroom duplex. You're not. You're not
Period.
about to do this to her again.
Period.
I ain't gonna lie, I was mad. Then was it? It slipped out. I didn't mean to say it. It slipped out, Zach. Why you ain't slip out of Karen? Now she pregnant with one of your kids. That needed to slip out. It slipped out. And I'm not gonna hold you. I didn't even like the way that was revealed.
It was
I
so
didn't. I had an
callous.
issue.
It was so
It
callous. And
was.
like, y'all, 2025, I fear I also am not taking my foot up off of Zachary Taylor's neck. Because what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, this is your king? This is your fiance? I wish a nigga would. This is how it slipped out. You got loose lips that bad. Your ego that bad. Like, what? And baby, Crystal, she gonna give a look. She gonna give a look. She definitely has
Mhm.
crafted Fatima. But the way that she looked at that man, I said, you damn right. It looked like she could have back slapped his ass right across that dining room table soon as that information fell out of his mouth. And I loved every bit of it. I loved every bit of it. Because what do you mean? And I know this ain't going to be like grounds for y'all to break up or whatever, but like these are the things that I want to hit Fatima and like you to really realize this is who you're with, girl. This is who you're with. He is a child. A child firing off 151 text messages telling somebody else who has more sense what to do with their damn body and with the damn kid because you don't have shit else to do. You so
Yeah.
concerned, Papa of the Year. This ain't good for neither one of y'all's kids, but you know that y'all keeping it from everybody. She's supposed to be not the last person to know, but she should be the person that you are really trying to keep this from.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Zach, he just the saving grace is that Duval is fine because I don't know what y'all see in this nigga at all. At all. The charm has worn off of like, oh, he gonna figure it out because he's never gonna figure it out and he's not trying. He is perfectly fine with every blunder, every mistake, every misstep. He's perfectly fine in his ego that he has. He's perfectly fine in his stupid ass arrogance. He's perfectly fine where he's at. And I could never imagine settling down with a man who has decided that this is where he's going to be in life and he ain't going no further.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I agree with all of that. And then one of the on top of that, because you said a mouthful with that when it comes to me, Fatima and Zach are a joke. Their relationship is a joke to me. I just it's beyond, watching Fatima and this. I don't understand. But anyway, it's the fact of how they decided to roll out this pregnancy. Because being that Zach was aware of this pregnancy on Sisters is letting me know, based on what has been shown to us, that Zach has more of a concern and care for Karen's pregnancy than his own fiance. He ain't never rubbed no stomach. He ain't never talked to the baby. He's never showed an ounce of excitement on Sister. So before y'all come in the comments, yes, I watched the teamer. Yes, I know, and don't get me on that because he don't give two squats about that baby either. After what? Anyway, you want Fatima to be a single mama being stupid. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother show. But over here on Sisters, we haven't seen that excitement. So it came out in a blunder. It came out in a oops. I shouldn't have said that. Miss me with that. I don't even think it was. I think it was done on purpose.
I
I
kind
just
of feel
can't
like it
see
too,
him.
actually.
Yeah, like I can't see Zach being that careless just to say, "Oh yeah, it just came out," and it come out no other time, and it come out when you came to the law firm and bought her food. I got to feed both of y'all. None of that came out. But you slip out the pregnancy in front of your pregnant ex girlfriend. Come on, Zach, you
Yeah.
you trifling like that. So, I said, "Oh my God!" Like I felt, and this is the thing. Like even though I believe that Karen has fully moved on from Zach and that whole situation, to be informed in that way,
Mm-hmm.
the way that it came out. I came up here to talk to you about all this stuff you saying about our baby and so on and so forth, and this is how it's revealed to me that Fatima's pregnant.
Yep.
Wow, wow.
And Zinga says the baby must got alcohol syndrome. But I think we just supposed to act like we didn't see her drinking for the last 3 seasons.
Even though I got all the pictures in the recordings, we gonna act like when you see her take a drink. Yep. We gonna act like when you see her take a drink at the brunch, when you see her take a drink so many other times after that. She didn't go and leave her house and saw Danny at the bar and they had a drink together. We gonna pretend like none of that happened.
None of it happened.
Because she
None
would have
of
been
it's
pregnant
real.
then.
It's fake. They made it up. They made it
Oh,
all up.
it's not true. It's not true. In the words of Michael Jackson, no. Hmm.
I want to go back to the boundary issues real quick because yeah, I know you don't like a pop up, Ellie. I do like a pop up, but I only like a pop up when it's people that I actually care about. I don't just pop up. Well, now that would be a lie. That would be a lie. I don't have to like you to pop up, but if I'm popping up and I don't like you, then I'm popping about that action. So you really don't have no control anyway. And that was also, younger Erica, a lot more with the shit Erica, right? Um, I don't have a problem, and I'm not going to have a problem. I don't want Karen at the damn duplex. Similar to you, period, flat out. Stay out the ghetto. The duplex is now in the ghetto. I said it. That's it. But also the way that Zach gets to run around carte blanche in her life, I want her to move with that same energy until he adjusts, because she has to conform. She has to apologize. She has to cater. She has to listen. She has to do all of the things that Zach never has to do. Meanwhile, he get to come to the salon. He get to come to the law firm. He get to come to her house. He get to come to Sabrina. Like, he get to do whatever the hell he want. And yes, Fatima, you're here and this is your house as well. One, I called his obedient ass and he ain't answer. And yes, I hear you. So maybe next time when I decide to pop up, I'm gonna be parked outside and I'm gonna just start honking. That's gonna have to be our meet in the middle, because if I feel called to pop up on his ass and run down on him, I'm going to run down on him, because he had no problem running down on my pregnant ass and calling me 5 types of hoes at my damn grand opening. You had
Come
no
on.
problem running down on my ass in my damn house with your gun in your purse. Oh, all right. So like that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like, I understand Fatima and you making this point, but also you got to create conditions for her to operate in that more healthy place by controlling your man. Because until Zach stops giving people to react to, you cannot be mad at their reactions. Same thing with Aaron,
Okay.
but we ain't there yet.
Yeah. We not there. I'm gonna go off real quick because my Bluetooth about to die. I'm gonna get my headphones.
Okay. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Also, Zach doesn't want Fatima and Karen getting along. It strokes his ego, them being at odds. Yes, he's going to be acting an ass when Karen finally and officially moves on with Aaron. For sure. For sure. He uses Karen being pregnant as a way to have some type of control. I agree. I agree. TP really needs to hire y'all as writers for the show so that it can make sense. Listen, we available, Tyler. We are available. Hell, I started as a damn assistant. I'll come in as a writer assistant and be like, y'all know that you did this over here and you have forgot. We got to carry this over. I do the grunt work. I don't have a problem. Ain't no else is carrying this far too forgiving for me. Yeah. Yeah, so I am definitely excusing a bunch of her transgressions a little bit more readily, because that gets away with murder, damn near. Like, we're over it. Just Danielle says, I'm so sick of Zach being on this show. He's insufferable. But he's also funny, but he is. I think the thing that makes him insufferable is not necessarily his actions, it's that he gets away with so much. That's the part that makes him insufferable, I believe, because I think that the Zach character represents a good portion of single black men from similar circumstances. I think that he's a very accurate representation. Like I said, I dated one, learned, lived, and moved on. But the problem is that he doesn't really suffer consequences for those things, and that part I think is the thing that makes it all like insufferable. Sweet Cakes 5 says, "Why can't Zatima stay on their own show?" Shaking my head. Mm-mm. They wanna capitalize off of Crystal's popularity with the audience, I believe. Um, Let me see if I missed anything else. Oh, let's do a poll. Actually, we can do a poll when it comes to the conversation of boundaries. Who you got? Fatima or Karen? It like Ellie said, Karen definitely understood what Fatima is saying as it pertains to the boundaries. She also just didn't appreciate being hit with all that information that Zach had and these plans to take her baby damn near immediately, giving her some help. No, no, no. Um, Orange Pepper says, Fatima really be standing there with Zach, be beefing with Aaron concerning Karen. She just be standing there. It was the whole Aaron from anyway. That's why I can't stand him, Erica. He's triggered. He is. A Noel says, I wish I still found him funny. I don't find him funny consistently, but there are certain moments that and again, this is also me watching as like a person who also acts as well. When certain people make certain choices for their characters, I go to a place of like enjoying that. So like Deval has a couple of moments with Zach where I'm like, oh, that was actually a really good choice. So it's less about me really thinking that Zach as a character is funny and more about like kind of like enjoying the performance that Deval has imbued Zach with. You back, Allie?
I'm back, girl. I'm back.
All right. Jazz says that Zach did make reference to her Fatima being pregnant when he brought her food to the law firm. Did he? He rubbed her
What he
belly
said?
and she said that she was feeling nauseous and he made a comment about having cravings too. Oh, did he? I gotta go back and watch. I can't confirm nor deny. Both of them don't fully understand boundaries. If Fatima did, she wouldn't be carrying Zach's child. If Fatima fully understood boundaries, she wouldn't be carrying Zach's child or getting married to him. That's a thought.
Baby.
That's a thought. Jess Danielle says, how can Fatima
Mm.
not see that Zach is jealous of Aaron about everything, but mostly Karen? Ooh, we gonna get there, cause we gonna talk about the hospital shenanigans. That's our last segment. Now, aside from the tension that basically led to the pregnancy reveal, that led to the Braxton Hicks false labor, um, I do think that they're doing a decent job of like wrapping up a certain era in the Karen Fatima saga and moving them to like this next era of life, which is figuring out how do they coexist, figuring out if they find friendship in some type of friendship footing, figuring out what co-parenting look like. And I do believe that the conversation that we watched play out over these two episodes did a good job of actually displaying that. How do you feel about that, Allie, in their historical tensions?
I like the episode. And let me know if I sound okay with these
You
headphones,
do.
if you can hear me clearly. Okay. Um, I think that the episode where Karen came over and her and Fatima was on the same page about what Zach was doing, how inappropriate it was, and just seeing them be on the same page, I liked it. And they really have been in this particular mode since the baby shower, because it was the first time that we ever saw Fatima actually be protective over Karen. So I did enjoy that dynamic because we have been seeing them at odds for so very long. And so it's a breath of fresh air to see them kind of. I don't think that they're friends. They're just cordial and they understand what needs to happen in order for it to be like a cohesive environment amongst each other. Um, and then to get to this episode where they were kind of on the same page too, that we kind of go from, Karen was like, hey, like I said, first of all, I think Fatima is so accustomed to talking down to people.
Mm.
I think she's just so accustomed to doing that, like it just comes out. Because my first thing would have been, I don't give a damn what you said. Like, you're not speaking to a child. You're not speaking to someone who is beneath you. You're not talking to Zach. You're not talking to Zach. You're talking to a woman as well. So let's keep it cute. Because I didn't feel like Karen disrespected her in any way. I just didn't feel that the way that Fatima shifted like that was warranted, in my opinion. I didn't feel it was warranted. I
Hold on
hope I
one second.
answered.
I'm
I
trying to
hope I heard
check.
everything. That's the question.
You did. I'm trying to also check if they said that you were a little loud, so I'm trying to figure out. Hold on. Again.
Oh,
You fine, Allie. I turned it down a little
Oh,
bit on my
okay.
end, but you perfectly fine. Y'all drop a one or in the chat if y'all are perfectly fine with Allie's audio at this point. Sorry if it was a little bit peaky.
Yes, let me know. Let me know.
Um, no, but yeah, everything that you said. Um, they're doing a good job. Like let's just keep this up. Now, before we get out of the whole Karen and Fatima tension part of the conversation, can we? Thank you, Jess. Can we talk about Zach's role in their conflict? Because he, well, I'm gonna leave it open. I'm gonna leave it open before I Zach's role in the conflict. Alley, what are your thoughts?
I think Zach loves to be the center of attention for the conflict.
Mm,
I think he enjoys it because even on the other episode where he was like, "What you got to talk to Karen for if it ain't about me,
mm-hmm.
sir? Everything ain't about you." So when Zach made that statement, I'm like, "Oh, you like this? You like these?" Because even the day, well, no, it's me. Remember, I'm the one. Shut up. Like that false. No, it's me. It's shut up, Zach. I don't believe that at all. I think Zach enjoys it. I really do. I think Zach enjoys it, and I think I was hearing remnants of what you were saying when I was getting my headphones, and it's just the fact that Zach really has no consequences to a lot of the things that he does, and it's amazing to me that even now Karen is pregnant, she's due at any time, and it's the way he still have these like this attitude with her when
Mm-hmm.
Fatima is around. Like I
Mm-hmm.
think he treats Karen one way when it's just them two, and then when Fatima's present, he acts as if Karen annoys him, that
Mm-hmm.
she's an irritant. But when Fatima isn't around, you give to me sometimes your vibe be real like I want that old thing back sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I do it, but maybe it's a thought. I think I'll say this. He's more softer, in my
Yeah.
opinion,
Yeah.
with Karen when it's just them two. But his role in the conflict, I think that Zach has done a poor job on both sides with the women in maintaining this weird dynamic. I think from the very beginning, Zach has I'm gonna say this though. In the beginning, I think Zach was honest. And for me, sometimes I think Fatima still thinks about that because I don't know what woman will stay with a man that tells you, I like you, but I don't know why I love her so much.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, what? And you stand at my house and
Mm-hmm.
you telling me you like me, oh, you cool, but I love her. I don't know why I love her so much. I want the both of y'all. I gotta give Zach his props because but he didn't lie.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
didn't lie. Then he started lying about how the whole sex happened. He blamed Karen for everything. He just started throwing her under the bus. I guess when he felt like he probably won't have a place to stay no more. But I just think from the very beginning, after that, Zach has just done a poor job. But I
And
think he
honestly,
likes
that
it.
when it gets to that point, it becomes a conversation of like what came first, the chicken or the egg, right? Because when I think about it,
Mm-hmm.
it's like Zach to me starts to perform animosity to Karen that is no longer there
Mm-hmm.
in front of Fatima because he feels like he has to, and that might be tied to the insecurity that Fatima has behind how you feel about Karen and knowing how you feel about Karen. So is her insecurity to blame for how you're behaving, or you the blame for setting a tone and giving her a reason to actually be insecure? That is something that we will never know. However, at this point, you have a baby on the way. You keep calling this lady your wife in front of everybody. At some point, I think it's time to drop the act. You need to figure out and wade those waters and figure out what it looks like for you to genuinely be however you want to be with Karen, and Fatima to find her footing and settle in receiving that. But if you're
Mm-hmm.
constantly masking how you actually feel and performing this animosity to her and playing in Fatima's face about how you can't stand Karen so bad, but then you take your ass over to the damn the salon, and Karen, all she got to say is it's me, and then you let down your shoulders and you go back to this place of like comfort, safety, whatever. that is not helping you in your relationship with Fatima at all. Not one bit. And
Mhm.
this is the part that I really want to like stay on, and I'm going to continue to like touch on with my criticism of the Zach character and how he's not equipped or not ready to be with either one of these women, because this man is only focused on playing at something. He's only focused on performing a good boyfriend, or what he deems a good boyfriend to be. He wants to perform a safe space. He wants to perform like he's communicative. Like he wants to act as if these things are the case, but he's not doing any of the work to actually make any of those things come to fruition. And you had time to. At this point, we're 8 seasons in, and yes, y'all might be only a year and a half into this relationship, but there is no reason why you should not be helping Fatima warm up to the idea that you actually do enjoy Karen. You like Karen as a person.
Yeah.
The time of you playing like you can't stand this girl is over and done with. Y'all are locked in for at least for the next 18 years. And there's only going to be incident after incident after incident of you seeing Karen be a phenomenal mother. You seeing Karen show up for you. Hell, maybe even Karen being there for you in times within your marriage when it gets rocky, and those feelings are in the way that your eyes get to look, and it's going to happen because the love is genuine and it's there. You acting like it's not there. It's not serving you. It's not serving Fatima. And it's damn sure not serving y'all's relationship. And this, again, going back to my criticism of Zach, these are all very real reasons why I can't respect him and I can't root for him to be with anybody, because your ass is unstable, bro. You are not a safe place for no woman to stand at this point. Not a one.
No.
And then you look across and you see a counterpart in fatherhood who happens to be a phenomenal place to stand. And instead of maybe not even front facingly showing him that you like, I want to be like that, but even taking it back home and like, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z because I seen Aaron do it. You're not even humble enough to do that. Zachary Taylor is dangerous. And I know people think I'm being hyperbolic when I say that, but it's more than just the abusive men that are dangerous. Men like this are dangerous as well because they lull you into a false sense of security and safety within a relationship. Meanwhile, your ass was never safe from the beginning.
That's a fact. That is a that is a fact.
Aaron.
I was thinking about this after watching Zatima, as well as watching some old episodes of Sistas. And I'm curious, hear your opinion about it. And it may be something we could talk about later on. I don't doubt that Zach loves Fatima and Karen in the way that he, I guess, understands what love is. But I often wonder if Zach has more of a fear of these women leaving him than his actual love for them.
I agree. I think about that too often.
Wow,
Often.
really? Wow,
Often, Abby.
okay. So I'm not
I think
alone.
even like in
Okay.
watching the I don't know which trailer it was because a lot of this content runs together for me. I'm gonna be honest, but the voiceover was, I don't know what I would do without you, and what came up for me in hearing that is like that. In theory, that sounds so romantic and professive and whatever, but the codependence, the the narcissism that is steeped in it from coming out of this particular character's mouth, it does not sound sweet. It does not sound like a song or poetry to me when I hear a Zachary Taylor saying, I like, you don't have a life. You don't have a mind. You don't have a perspective. You don't have nothing without this woman. And that has been your pattern pretty much your whole adult life. Your identity morphs around the woman that you're with and what she will and will not allow you to do within that relationship. You have yet to take time to cultivate who the hell you are, who the hell you want to be. And then we supposed to believe it's so romantic because you just love this person so much and you just can't be without them. That is a problem. No, I'm not saying everybody needs to be alone and should want to be alone. I understand the sentiment of like, I can't live without you, but you should be able to live without somebody. The sustenance that you need is within yourself and Jesus, baby. That's it. And Zachary means it when he says that. So I have thought
Yes, it
about it
does.
often of like, do you really love Fatima, or do you feel like this is as good as it gets and you can't lose her? Because you really love Karen and you felt like it was as good as
Mhm.
it gets until Fatima came and showed you a little bit more. And not necessarily a little bit more in womanhood, be clear, a little bit more in body. Because Karen is still that girl.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I think that's a very real thing to point out, Allie, of like, Zachary, is this love or is this you can't fathom losing another woman?
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely something to think about. And thank you for answering that. Because I was like, it was like so heavy. Because I was like, I wanted to explore like a video on that. Because I'm like, it's really deep when I think about his abandonment issues.
Mm-hmm.
Like even with going back to his mom, and it's like, I don't want any woman to leave me. I ain't gonna leave them. I cheat, I do my dirt, but I'm not going to leave them. And I remember, like in the beginning of Sisters, like people were upset at Karen for choosing herself,
Mm-hmm.
upset with her for leaving Zach, even though it was clear all the stuff that he was doing. Well, he's trying and he's this. And I think that was the first time I saw on a large scale how some women will put up with anything just to have a man, a piece of a man. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
girl, he trying. No, he's not. He ain't trying. They ain't trying at all. Even with Zach now, the things that he's doing, what are you trying to do? Like I don't get him sometimes. Like I understand, like, with the chips in the soda, he's nervous, he's whatever. But even when Karen coming in with the in the wheelchair, like he was just, to me, like, calm down.
Mm-hmm.
If she did go into false labor because of what was revealed in the stress, you ain't making it no easier by
At
rushing over
all.
there. But what you doing over here? What's going? Calm down. You ain't the one experiencing contractions. Ain't nothing getting squeezed on your body. Have a seat. Have a seat.
Relax,
But yeah,
sir.
relax,
Please.
relax, relate, release, my dude.
Please. As we get ready to wrap up the Sister Circle segment, is it safe to say that we enjoyed or we appreciate how the women supported each other in this crisis, in the moments of these crises?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, absolutely,
All right.
absolutely.
And I think that they are laying the path for some better patterns. Like we're seeing the sisters move in a way.
Hmm.
Like I spoke about this a little bit before, but they're moving in a way that seems a little bit more sister like, and I can get with it. I
Yes.
appreciate it a lot. Now, last but certainly not least, labor and love, Allie.
Oh,
Labor and love. Let's get into this hospital scene. Karen comes in, the Braxton Hicks. So it's not an actual labor, it's a false labor. She got to calm down. She can't be stressed. Fatima holding down in the waiting room while Zach losing his mind. Even that, like,
yeah,
for me, it's like also, like, I'm not trying to just harp on like Zach criticism, but also, like you were saying, like, yes, he's nervous, he's eating, he's doing this, he's doing that. But, like, at what point did he check on Fatima? Because there's a certain level of responsibility that comes with him putting her in this particular predicament by being in a relationship with her, but then getting his ex girlfriend pregnant. That you have a responsibility to like check in. How does me now being almost frantic, worried, performing this as I am, how does that now affect Fatima? But you not once is she okay? Not it's not even a glance back to see if you need to adjust how you are because she's uncomfortable. And it's just whatever. Fatima is even
you
so
want
much
it. You want it. Hmm.
Fatima's even so much so like the bigger person, and just she just has to do so much emotional mental labor in this relationship. She tells Zach to call Aaron because Aaron deserves to know, makes him do so. And that gets Aaron to the hospital once Karen is let out of the examination room and everybody is updated, only for Aaron to get the tea on the tail end of like she's in here because she was arguing with Zachary Taylor. And he about sick and tired of being sick and tired of Zachary Taylor arguing with Karen Motz.
Yes.
How are we feeling about
Yes.
this hospital scene?
I was here for it. I wasn't mad at Aaron at all. I wasn't mad at Aaron at all. And I know it's gonna be in this video. I already know the comments. He always starts stuff with Zach. And this is what I respect about this man. Even if Aaron put the put the horse before the cart, whatever that saying is.
Yep.
If he's wrong, he gonna come back and apologize.
Mm-hmm.
But at this moment in time, Karen and those babies were his top and only priority. And as he stated, it seemed like every time I bend over backwards with you, it's always you. And it is. It's always you. Now you arguing with Karen. And I think to Aaron's credit, almost every time he has witnessed Zach and Karen's presence, it's normally always the issue. It's normally always Zach is being aggressive towards her. It's always a problem. So I have no beef with how he showed up for Karen, because if the shoe was on the other foot, don't nobody get mad when Zach show up. A man can't even say, "Hey, to Fatima, what you doing? Fall back. We ain't doing that."
Mm-hmm.
Aaron, do it, sir. I don't care. I don't care at all. I was happy. And I think for me too, honestly, and I'm being funny, but I love to see Aaron defend Karen, because she is one character that really gets no defending.
Yep.
She really doesn't get that. And I'm so elated that we get to see this man who genuinely loves her do that for her.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy for her in that moment, because I'm so happy, because I know that Karen loves Aaron, like genuinely loves him. When I went back to the letter episode, oh my God. But anyway,
Ooh,
I know that she loves him,
mm-hmm.
but at the time she wasn't in love with him. So I am so ready to see their journey for her to get to that place with him.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know the love she has for him is genuine. And even Karen getting to the point, because it was always, I don't know if I'm worthy to be with you. I don't know if I'll ever be able to be that woman that you're deserving of. And knowing that this is about to be the path that they own, girl, I'm eating it up.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mr. Aaron Carter.
Yes. And I don't know, y'all. Maybe I'm just predisposed to criticizing Zach, because in thinking about how Aaron responded, like you said, even if he was putting the cart before the horse, you have done that countless times. When is it his turn to get one?
Mm-hmm.
You don't let Aaron get one ever. You couldn't humble yourself in this moment. You know what? You right. You ain't got to worry about us arguing no more. This scared the hell out of me. Karen, we going to get these babies here. Make it a jokey joke, because that's what you love to do. You can't even do that. It's like the moment this man enters the room, why is he talking to me? Why? Like, you are so threatened. You are so threatened by the presence of a real nigga that you are outside yourself. You just be so discombobulated. Like, I feel like this is what Zach's mind looked like when Aaron walked into the room. He don't know what to do with himself. And instead of being a grown-ass man and like, damn, this is what's coming up for me, maybe I need to sit with this and figure out how I could use this or what the hell this could actually mean, you just keep letting it happen. No, I don't have no beef with what the hell Aaron said either, because he's right every single time.
Mm-hmm.
You over here acting up. You over here starting some and you're perfectly fine with Karen and Fatima on both ends of you. But then when you got to be on the other end and Aaron's on the other end and it's Karen, now it's smoke in the city. Now it's a problem. Zach, you need a damn therapist. Something is really wrong with you on multiple levels. Aside from the fact that you need to grow up, aside from the fact that you're a damn narcissist, aside from the fact that you very much so are a toxic ass male, you need a therapist, bro. Because it's wild how you can rationalize so easily, so beautifully, any of your thoughts and transgressions. But the moment anybody is even in the ballpark of doing a semblance of even a healthier version of what the hell you do, you can't understand it. It's the most foreign in the world. They deserve to get their asses whooped. And again, I would actually love Zach to jump up and get put down because you came at him while he was seated in steam plant and you still almost got your ass whooped. Stop
Yes.
thinking that you big and bad like your girl and you can put hands on
Mhm.
everybody, you can beat everybody. Because while you think that you him, Aaron might be emotionally intelligent. He might be communicative. He might be mature. But he will whoop your ass. As he
Yes, he
should.
does.
Hmm.
As he should. As he darn it should. And can we please, and this is just, and I know DeVal does this in real life because I've seen interviews of him doing this. Can we please leave the pause in 2024? Well, I don't even know what the hell that is. Or how it even,
Well, he does it in real interviews.
yeah, I've seen him do it. That's why I was like, oh,
I
I was
didn't
like,
know
oh, I
that.
said that, yeah, I
I
said,
thought it
that's a
was a part
DeVal
of
move.
the character because Zachary Taylor
I'm,
is toxic as pause to me
DeVal has
is
done, DeVal
homophobic.
has done that.
Pause to me is homophobic.
Okay,
I
okay.
when men like my best friend, he still says it, and I give him shit every time he says it, every time,
Mm-hmm.
because it's stupid. You sound stupid. Don't nobody give a damn.
Yes,
So I'm assuming, like,
yes,
I'm not saying I'm not with the whole get rid of the pause thing because it just shows exactly how immature Zach is for me. Like the fact that he
true.
is still saying pause, that's the biggest concern right now. Nobody associate me with homophobia. I mean, with homosexuality. While I tell this man I'll beat his ass, but I ain't a homosexual. Like what? What? What?
Yeah, but he said so. Yeah, I thought it was. And let me just tell people too. Like, I I support the people on Sisters, but it's a whole lot of stuff that go on in culture that I'm just not familiar with or know about. So
Mm.
I didn't know what the pause thing was. I heard it. Somebody said in the interview, and I was like, "What is that?" So then I started noticing when people would say so words, I would only see men pause, and I'm like, that would piss me off if I'm in a conversation with somebody and I say something, they say something, and they say pause. That would irritate the hell out of me. So when he said that, I'm just like, Fatima, even looking at them sitting down, I'm like, people, we were doing it like as a joke. I'm like, but you really do look like the mama.
You look like the
You really do
mama.
look like you're mothering this man next to you. Cause I'm like, what? And I think even the fact that Zach always wants to resort to violence, telling Aaron, I beat the F out of you, I beat your ass, I do this. And it's like, at some point, writers, y'all need to let, I don't condone violence, but y'all need to let Aaron walk the dog on Zach's ass. Because he think he can beat everybody. He think ain't nobody gonna touch him. He just, but one thing I love about Aaron, he'll never back down.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you came at him with a fight, he brought it.
Mm-hmm.
He brought it. But I'm just, you know, irritated with that. But you was hitting on something earlier when you talked about how Zach did not even check to see if Fatima was okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, you got a baby mama in the back, but you got a baby mama sitting next to you who is watching you be this nervous and be this concerned about Karen, who is not just the mother of your child, someone you genuinely love, someone who you were genuinely in love with for years. That's the difference. She's not Heather. She ain't no
Mm-hmm.
random. And I'm watching you do this. That has to affect Fatima in a way. But like I said, for me, I don't. It's amazing how Zach shows concern to Fatima and when he doesn't. For me, it just makes me think whenever Karen's around, she's number two. And I know people gonna come for me, and that's fine. But I'm just saying, based on what we see, that's what it looks like to me.
Y'all
I'm just
gotta
saying.
chill. Fatima is fairy thug mother. Fairy thug mother goes crazy. What do you mean? Fairy thug mother? You
That's
did your
hilarious,
big
though.
one. You did your big one. Ain't no well.
That's funny.
Ellie, so how do they co-parent moving forward? How and it's so interesting because I think it's so I don't want to repeat interesting, but I don't have any other word. Interesting
Mhm.
that when we having a conversation about co-parenting and it's Zach, Fatima, and Karen, cool. But then when Aaron gets to add it into the conversation, it's not as cool. But he is a part of this co-parenting situation. What do you think that the co-parenting landscape looks like moving forward?
Jesus. One, it's gonna have to get to a point, I think, for Zach. You just gonna have to accept the fact that Aaron is a father and he's a part of this dynamic as well. Because if I remember correctly, he didn't even want to call him. And Fatima was like, "Well, he needs to know." All right, you right, you right. You thought this woman was going into labor, and you didn't even feel that it was your responsibility to let Aaron know that. Like, that was a huge flag for me.
But if Aaron did the same thing, you'd be on his ass.
You be on him. You will be on him. So I think, one, it's gonna have to be some hard conversations before, to me, co-parenting has to happen. For one, I think that Zach is hurt that Karen is having a child with Aaron.
Mm.
I think I think it's legit. I think it's honest, but it needs to be talked about. They're gonna have to have some type of schedule, and everyone is going to need to know their place. Because I know with me, if I had a child and my child, me and the father are not together, and my child is going over there with him and his fiance, and we don't have the best relationship, there's just certain things that are going to have to happen because that's my child. I know that's your fiance, but that's my child. We're going to have to make sure we're on the same page and that we're all in agreement and that we don't deviate from our agreements. Period.
Yeah.
When, I ain't going to say if, when Karen and Aaron make their thing official and she's living her best life and good life with him, it needs to be, Zach gonna have to understand he's gonna be a father to your child as well.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't gonna treat your child no different, and you're gonna have to be on the good foot. I think for me, it would just be one of them things where I wouldn't give two damns how Zach felt, to be honest. Because when he just felt it was one baby, what he told Fatima, Karen just gonna have to get with the program.
Yep.
Well, guess what, my dude? You just gonna have to get with the program. We don't care how you feel about it, get with it.
Yeah.
Because ain't nobody going nowhere. Now I know it's gonna present difficulties because you have these two fathers. But I think it could be done. I think, like,
I
even going to,
agree.
like, when it could be
It
done.
could be
Like,
done,
even
but
going
Zach
to
is
the
going to be the
school,
problem. Zach is going to be the thing that could
he's gonna be the problem.
potentially ruin it. And it's sad because even with all of the I's dotted and the T's crossed and the plans agreed to, I think it's ultimately going to come down to Zach's lack of emotional regulation and jealousy. Because the moment that
Hmm.
he thinks that his child loves Aaron any more than he loves him, it's a wrap. The moment that he feels like Aaron is actually loving Karen how she deserves, it's a wrap. Like it's just so many moments where Zach will have physical evidence because he's convinced himself that Aaron is beneath him. But this is going to put him in a circumstance to see physical evidence of how Aaron is so great. And I fear with every time that evidence of Aaron's greatness is presented by way of his how he behaves in his fatherhood, it's just going to be a trigger for Zach.
Yeah. And I think, sadly, also, Karen may have to go through the courts with Zach.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know you don't want to do this. Like, when it comes to visitation, when it comes, because Zach is just, he's too impulsive. I honestly really wouldn't trust my child with him. It would be a requirement that Zach goes to parenting classes. Like, I would have stipulations for him. I know they're not gonna do that in this show. But it can be done. Like you said, Zach is going to be the problem. And we even saw that when it came to them putting together the cribs.
Yep.
And Miss Lisa was getting on both of them. I'm like, what you getting on Aaron for? Because he's showing Zach up. That's Zach's problem, not Aaron's. He just didn't put up a crib. That's it. And so I think, as you stated, when Aaron moves Karen out of that apartment and they're in their house and they're living, I think Zach
They
is gonna have to
four
deal with some.
bedroom, 5 bedroom house. Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay, because it's gonna be some mess. Like, it's gonna be some mess. But I'm here for the mess because I'm so ready for Karen to get what she
Me
deserves when it
too.
comes to love,
Me
and her really opening
too.
herself to receive the love that Aaron had. 'Cause as I was watching these old episodes and just the vulnerability that Karen has with Aaron, and knowing that I love you. And then I thought about when that heifer Jennifer popped up and ruined every damn thing that we had been working towards. She was letting her guard down. She was really becoming accepting of Aaron and his role in her life, and even believing not knowing if the baby was his or not, but it's for the twins. She knew about the twins, and I was just so happy for her. And that came and put a halt on everything. And it's been a long time since we have really seen her happy with the man, and I'm so ready for this.
Yeah.
I'm so ready.
And
So
I know I love Aaron, so it could give bias, and I don't give a at this point. But I am really ready for like the true era of like what it should look like if there's a man occupying a bunch of space within the show. Like I don't give a damn what propaganda y'all trying to show us. Sabrina and Rich are not in a healthy relationship. Daniela and Tony are not in a healthy relationship. And we deserve at least one healthy, stable relationship while everybody else is like spiraling. And I could just totally see us moving into the space of Aaron and Karen giving herself over to him, allowing herself to be loved. And then Aaron becomes the fifth homegirl. Like when everybody's running to Karen for advice, Aaron is also happened to be there cooking something, or he got Daniela back, or he could just totally like slide in and be that non-imposing male force within the Sistas world versus the Zachary Taylor character who is really just kind of like commodified all the attention and made this woman show not really be about women. It's right there. Like it's right there for us. Can we please just do it? Tyler, please. Aaron is right there. I don't know how to turn it to a plea, but
yeah, please do it. And I think it's great because Aaron already has somewhat of a relationship or a dynamic with these women. More so, I would say with Andy because he's probably was around her the most. But I just love the way that this is what really sold it for me with Aaron. I mean, I was already sold, but that episode where Andy was drunk and was about to leave with Paris. And he was so overly concerned about her safety. Like, y'all want to go check on, like, I think she's drunk. She about to leave with him. Should we follow her? Should we? And I was like, baby, let me tell you something. That right there, and it wasn't performative. It wasn't where he was doing too much. He was genuinely concerned about this woman going on with this man, and she's drunk. Aaron, Karen, marry him. Marry this man, baby. Marry him.
That's the wedding
Marry
we
him.
deserve. I don't give a damn about no Fatima wedding. Where is the Karen wedding at?
Where is it at? Where is it at? My God. Aaron would never have Karen in an interrogation room in the jail crying over him. Never.
Ever.
And if she ever screaming for Aaron to stop beating up somebody, it's because they physically like I just love the way, and I think, and I know I'm talking a lot about this, but it makes me feel so happy just as a Black woman getting prepared to watch this Black woman get the love that she so rightfully deserves after she's been through hell. It almost makes me emotional, and I'm so glad I went back and watched the older episodes because the fact that this man loved her through her pain and loved her through the moments where she was saying Zach's name, where she was indecisive, where her feelings were everywhere. She didn't know how to release herself emotionally from this bond that she had been in for so long, this toxic dynamic, and you have this person coming to say, hey, let me love you through it, let me be here with you through it, I'm not going anywhere. And I think even for Karen, like a lot of women, it's hard to trust that because I don't come across nobody like you. It's hard to trust that if this baby is not yours, that you're not gonna leave me. It's hard for me to trust that. So I think now, because I'm not gonna lie, Karen used to get on my nerves when this whole thing with Zach and her emotions. And I'm so glad that, and I think it got on my nerves because I'm like, Zach is a nobody, baby. Why do you want him? But I understand though. I understand. And I'm glad that we were able to see her heal. We were able to see her go through the ups and downs, go through the ugliness of what healing looks like.
Yeah.
Because it's up and down.
Mm-hmm.
It's up and down. And I'm glad we got a chance to see that. And I think when people say, oh, Karen got fans, Karen is actually somebody's favorite character. Absolutely. Because I think for me, Karen has had the
Period.
most realistic story out of everybody on this show, especially for a woman who has dated a man that it wasn't the best relationship and you couldn't let that Negro go and you found yourself going backwards when you should have been going forward. This has been the most realistic,
Yes.
I think, visual of healing through and allowing somebody to love you through that I've seen
Yep. I
with the Black
agree.
woman.
I agree 100%. And yes, Karen got fans. If she don't, I'm no longer here. And like
Okay?
fans of like one of my favorite characters of all time type fans. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
like that. Mm-hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
is. It is.
So
Oh, and can I say this?
yeah.
Let me say this too. I want everybody to give me and Erica an apology. Not probably most of y'all on this live, but it's something that we have been saying for years, individually before we even got together.
Yeah.
Is that the good sis Ebony Obsidian
Ooh.
is the best talent on this show, not taken away from anybody else. For everybody who has seen the 6888, y'all owe
She's
us an
her.
apology.
She is her.
She's her. She's been her. And I have told y'all, Erica has told y'all, go watch these people. Go watch their credited performances on different films and TV shows. Ebony has been that chick. So many people think this is her first merry-go-round. No, 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 no.
Mm-mm.
Go look her up. Go watch the series Tough Love. I think she's in the first 3 or 4 seasons.
Tough
And she
love.
played the character Alicia. Did it so well. So everybody who been sleeping on my good sis, because you can't stand Karen, Karen ain't got nothing to do with Ebony. Baby,
At
she
all.
is that girl.
Period.
And I'm so happy for her and I'm so proud of her because it was just an amazing performance. And Ebony says, if you did a phenomenal job. Phenomenal.
You can
I
just
just had to say
spot
that, Erica.
like you can always spot the actors who look at the craft as art, and she is one of those. Like she, it does not matter if she's playing Karen from Sisters, or she's if Bill Street could talk, or if she's in 6888, or if she's in Tough Love. She is crafting character, baby, and that's been. I have been obsessed with Ebony since Tough Love, bro.
Yes. Yes.
Since the web series with that raggedy
Yes.
ass man that she was with on there. Holding her obsessed because you can see it. And it was something that always like struck me with people and how they could hate. Like it was one thing to hate that the Karen character, but then when they would give Ebony so much shit, I'm like, do y'all not know that she's like a generational talent? What the fuck are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? This is weird
Yeah.
work. And it's one thing, like, this is no shade to Crystal at all. Gorgeous, gorgeous girl, gorgeous gowns. But she still has a ways to go. So even if y'all are just trying to say 1-1, that we're not doing it. But you know,
Yes.
colorism and whatnot. We ain't gonna take it there. But
Mm-hmm.
Ebony
Mm-hmm.
deserves every last
Mm-hmm.
one of the flowers that you gave. Ellie. I didn't know what you was about to
And
say. But yeah, we have been saying it. I'm
I
gonna
had I
keep
had to
saying
say it. Yeah. 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 I had to say it because I'm like, and I have seen so many people say, "Oh, I'm seeing Karen now after watching the 688." Yeah, I said, "Oh,
she been
it
that
took that
girl.
movie. She's been
She's
her.
been
We've been
her.
trying to tell y'all. Now you're looking at her a little differently now.
Mm, y'all got
Mhm.
it. Y'all got it.
Yeah. Come on to the side, to the right, to the light.
Hello. What's your MVP moment of the night, Allie? Of the episode, if you had to call it.
What was my best part of the episode? Um, I'm gonna say got to be Aaron. Aaron
Mm.
showing up at this Aaron showing up at this hospital. Um, and you know what? I take that back. it was that, but I love the moment of I'm gonna say darn Ebony. I love the moment of Karen being back there with the doctor.
Ah.
And I think the concern she like the concern she had for her babies. Because I know I've seen a lot of comments where Karen act like she don't care about her babies. Karen don't act, but I'm like, anyway, that's neither here nor there. I love the fact that you could tell her children are her top priority. When the doctor was like, you can't be stressed. You're doing a lot, and she was like, I'm gonna do better. But they're okay. They're okay. Okay. Like I think for me, seeing, like, I guess it made me anticipate her journey to motherhood. So I think that was probably my favorite moment of the episode, because it was nice and quick, but I think it held such a place for me for what's to come for the character.
Yeah. Okay. I think my MVP will probably be the her going into labor scene, like right before Fatima, are you pregnant? The wave of information washing over her, and you seeing like what it means to like let that hit you, and like almost the conflict of like the innate jealousy, right, that would come from
Uh
that
huh.
particular news, but
Mm-hmm.
then also the battle with like healing and like this should not actually affect me, and like that combination. Like I again think that Ebony is brilliant, and she definitely has crafted Karen in such a masterful way and on so many levels. But in that moment, I was like, and then she
Yeah.
goes into the like, and it was just so seamless, and it made so much sense. Like that for me, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That was yeah, I love that. They
did
now think about all these scenes that was I like when when the doctor came out and he was like, yeah, you can't be arguing with the father of your children, your partner or something like that. And she was like, we're not partners. He's engaged to Miss Wilson over there. That's right, Karen. Let it be known, baby. This is not my man. Mm-mm. This is not my man, baby.
And it
Sorry.
was such a funny, it
Mm-mm.
was such a brilliant comedic choice because you cannot pinpoint
It
like, oh, she
was.
jealous. No, she just like, I'm gonna tell
Right.
you because I just don't want to be in this circumstance, but here we are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was funny.
Ebony, we love you, girl. You are so talented and so beautiful. My
Yes.
goodness, y'all. Anything? Well, we did miss a couple things, but y'all, moving forward, we might not touch on every single thing because not every single thing that goes down in the episode actually matters. Do we give a damn that Hayden didn't go through with killing Gary? No.
No.
Do we give a damn that Hayden finds out from Robin that he is going to have to hold on to Andy's cases a little bit longer? No, because it's only been 3 days at
No.
max. It hasn't even been 3 days. Like, Robin, please. Hayden, please.
No.
So we might not touch on everything, but from the things that we touched on, anything that you guys want to add, let us know. Allie, anything that you want to slide in there that you did want to talk about from the episode that we might have missed?
I ain't gonna lie to you, Erica. Not that we missed, but it has been so long since I have like felt a warmth in watching Sisters. And I am so excited for Aaron and Karen's journey. I want this so much because I do want to see it, but I want it so much for just Black women to give hope that you can have that type of love. And I think people feel like they're so broken and so damaged that you're not worthy of it. And to know that there is a man out there who has matured, who has gone through life experiences, who will love you through it, who won't
Yep.
make you feel bad that you're going through it. And I'm just so ready. I'm so ready for that story. And I'm so ready for Karen to just embrace it because I know it's coming.
Yep.
I know it's coming. So I'm excited for that.
I
I
love
think that's
it.
probably why I was pissed at this episode because I was ready for them to be in her house kissing. I was ready for Aaron to tell her, that, touching her stomach, letting her know I got you,
Yeah.
always. And the look that because I saw something where it was the look she gave him. He was like, I'll always protect you and our babies. Karen, marry that man, sis. Marry
Please
him.
marry that man. My God.
Marry
Marry
him.
him
Because I would,
now. Right
baby, because that
now.
look Karen gave him was like, I
Whew.
said, ooh,
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Mm.
That's your husband. Correct.
Uh-huh.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes.
Noel says, after the discussion, I'm keeping my 7 rating, except for the oops with the order of scenes. I'm happy with the episode. You know what? I might bump mine up to a 6.8 after our discussion. Because Maggie had the
I might
scenes
give it I
there.
might give it a 6. I might give it a 6.
Yeah.
I might give it, but it's why I love Our Sister's Keeper, because there are certain things I'm sure that we talked about that people probably did not give two thoughts about, like the way we
Mhm.
discussed how Maggie, to me, displayed and exemplified the dynamic of the friendships. Like, I thought it was beautiful, how she did it. And to me, that was important. I think establishing that and really establishing how they feel about that their person.
Yeah.
How Danny feels safe with Sabrina, how Fatima knew to call Andy that, Karen is, in labor or what have you. And I just thought that was beautiful. I thought
Yeah.
it was absolutely beautiful. And even still, even though I'm tired of the conflict between Zach and Aaron, I know it's not going anywhere, but I just really hope that this was like a moment where we can begin to understand truly, because the truth about Zach, because he'll say, well, he always talk too much. He always in my business. Lies. Like, really deal with the issue of why you feel the way that you feel, because
Mhm.
we've seen Karen do it. I
Yep.
don't I don't want to be jealous of her, but it's hard not to, because not only is she with my ex, now my friends are close to her. That's something.
That's real.
Yes. Yes.
And I think that's the
And
part that people be missing in our criticism
hmm
because I'm not calling for Zach to be perfect. I'm calling for him to be human and accountable. In the same way that Karen had to go through certain steps in her healing journey, we are watching Zach skip over it but still get rewards as if he did it. Why haven't we
yes.
heard him admit to being jealous of Aaron? He is not going to spontaneously combust or melt if he admits that he's jealous of Aaron. Nigga, we all can see it. We all
hmm
know it. We just need you to know. We're waiting for you to get here. And when people are so pissed of like, oh, you just hate Zach. Actually, I might love your favorite character more than you actually do because I actually want the best for him. Clock it. You are perfectly fine with him staying in his ego, steeped in stupidity. And I would like to call him out of that to grow. Won't you go ahead and unpack that?
Facts. Facts. Those are facts.
Well, y'all, this has
Those
been
are facts.
another dope episode of Our Sisters Keeper with your good sis that you let her talk TV with. This is definitely
Yes,
taking my mind off of it,
yes.
so
Yes,
thank you.
yes.
And
Yes. Your girl Allie Nick giving it to you when I give it to you, but always in the nick of time, like Robin.
like Robin.
Like Robin.
Like Robin, period. Y'all look out for our breakdowns for the episode as well as Allie is going to do subject points from the episode. There's so many things that they gave you in this episode. They said, here you go, Allie. The
They
start of the year.
did.
Here you
They
go, honey.
did.
Here you
They
go.
did.
I
Okay.
am
And
actually
thank
break.
you.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
No, no, go for it.
No, thank you to all the new subscribers, all the people who have been watching my videos. I've seen definitely a big increase in that. So I thank you so much. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what happened, but I thank God for it. So thank you guys for just rocking with me and us 2024, and for the new exciting things that's gonna happen in 2025. But I just wanted to say thank you, and I appreciate you guys so much.
Yes. I am going to be covering Zatima, so I have been thus far. New episodes are dropping tonight, as well as All the Queen's Men, so be on the lookout for that. I am going to give y'all an All the Queen's Men live. I'm going to try to do that tomorrow, so look out on the community posts tab. so I can announce when I'm going to do that because y'all been asking me, and I got to give that to y'all. We can talk about it. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for the condolences. Thank you so much for the community. Like, we be in here over 100 people every single Wednesday, and it's such it's a wonderful space to unpack very real life stuff, but presented from the lens of this fictional show. And I think that it can be very, very impactful. So I'm so appreciative for this time and space. I'm so appreciative of you, Allie. I'm so appreciative to all of y'all in the audience. And we gonna see y'all in the next one.
Yes, yes.